Hello and welcome to Restore 2022, an opportunity for us to read the scriptures together, to grow in our understanding of who God is, how powerful His transformation, His love, His grace, His patience is, and to live for Him lives of worship that actually are worthy to Him. We are today in Matthew chapter 16, where the Pharisees and the Sadducees gang up. They come together. In real life, they've got big differences in politics, in theology, in practice, but somehow they create this united delegation to check up and test on Jesus. They wanted a sign from heaven when Jesus has been around, and all he's been doing so far is miracles after miracles. This was the proof that they could not discern the signs of the time. They could not tell that John the Baptist, the forerunner and the fulfillment of Isaiah 40, as shown in Matthew 3, has been there as a sign, even more so, had the Messiah in their midst. But Jesus talks about the teaching of the religious leaders, and he refers to them as yeasts. This is not the yeast for baking, but it shows the power of yeast, the influence of their teaching, the way that they're impacting lives, and the receptivity of Jesus as the Messiah. This unbelief continues to this day, as the current Jews are still waiting for the Messiah. Unbelief, resistance, opposition is building up as we're going through these chapters. And Jesus always seems to be knowing what the Father is doing. And here he is training his disciples. He does this by addressing several things in this chapter. First, he asks about the views of the crowds and Jesus' identity. And then he asks his disciples of their opinion on him, which brings Peter to that amazing statement: "You are the Christ, the Messiah, the Son of the living God." There's possibly no greater statement in the whole of this gospel. It is to this point that Jesus has been bringing the disciples, gradually opening their eyes to his messianic glory. Matthew wants to journey with us with that, so their mouths must be open to confess him as the anointed, as the promised one of God. The public ministry of Jesus, remember, began with Father saying, "This is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased." And Jesus, on his own authority, we know that no one knows the Son except the Father. But now the disciples have come to know him too, to trust him. The fellow Jews are resisting, and the revelation that Peter has had only comes from above. That's what Jesus is saying. But Jesus unfolds that on the basis of this revelation, he's going to be building his church on the basis of Peter's confession, that through the church, Christ intends to make his word and will known. And when the church speaks in Christ's name, the church binds and looses, opens the gates of heaven for those who believe and closes them on those who do not. And lastly, Jesus asks his disciples to keep these things to themselves until the time when people will indeed have the glory of Jesus, the Messiah, proclaimed to them, manifested to them. But that time has not come yet. And the timing is so important for Jesus, and the timing is so important for the disciples. God bless you, and see you tomorrow as we read Matthew chapter 17.